Despite the fact that there are still 3 GOP candidates in the race, all eyes are now on the presumed general election matchup between Mitt Romney and President Obama. What are their strengths and weaknesses going forward? Here to help us sort it all out are Republican strategist and pollster Adam Geller and also Democratic strategist David Mercer. Gentlemen, great to see both of you.
Pleasure to be with you.
Great to be here, Shannon.
All right, David, I'll let you start off. What is the best argument for President Obama being reelected?
Best argument is that he put a floor under the economic situation that could have been a depression, and we're seeing the economic indicators going in a positive direction. We're at 8.2 unemployment, down from highs, going back to what we heard Peter Doocy reporting on, going to both women and men losing jobs both before Obama got in office and leading into his first couple of years. We're reversing that trend, and all economic indicators are pointing in a positive way with 25 months of proactive growth and jobs and reducing the unemployment rate. And I think also we saw consumer confidence going up as well.
Adam, with that salesmanship job by David there in mind, how do you make the case that Mitt Romney is the better candidate?
Mitt Romney is the better candidate because the last 4 years have been a dismal failure. Our debt and our deficit have skyrocketed. Our 8.2% unemployment is simply too high after a failed stimulus, after a failed Obamacare that will be overturned by the Supreme Court, and after all these enormous gaffes. I mean, just this past week, clown shows in Las Vegas. We have prostitution scandals in Colombia. We have, of course, the hot mic incident of a couple of weeks ago, all reminding voters what a failure the Obama administration is. Now, they're trying this very cynical war on women, which nobody is buying. They're trying a very cynical eat the rich, which nobody's buying. And they're going to try a very cynical scare grandma and granddad. And you know what? Nobody's going to buy that either. The guy is in the low 40%. He's less than 40% among independent voters. It's over. And guess what? It's not even going to be close. This guy is heading for an enormous defeat.
All right, David, some folks are clearly buying those messages because this is virtually a dead heat at this point, and we know that the polls will fluctuate, but that message is certainly resonating with some people because this is still a neck-and-neck race. But I want to ask you, David, how the president does deal with some of the negatives he's going to have to talk about: high gas prices, these green companies that the administration has poured money into that have fallen apart, and other factors as well. How will the administration craft a response to those on the campaign trail?
Well, certainly not by peddling, as we heard from Adam Geller, on gloom and doom. We faced almost a depression back in 2008, 2009, and the president stood fast in doing and using all resources available, public-private partnerships with the auto industry, bringing GM and Chrysler back, as well as other advances, and not only domestically but on the foreign policy front with getting Osama bin Laden and leaders of the Al-Qaeda so we can steady our security as well as prosperity, or on the road to prosperity. So we are not going to peddle gloom and doom, but we are going to advance the interest of both the American public and women. We are going to be supporting and have been supporting equal pay for women, which we see Governor Walker tried to repeal last week, even though Romney was in Wisconsin and giving heads up to Governor Walker there.
Okay.
So we're going to be pushing forward on what's positive and not what is negative, as Adam has been pushing.
Adam, I want to ask you very quickly in the time we have left, your final word. How does Mitt Romney and how does his campaign spin away from the accusation that he's out of touch, that he's wealthy, he's all about Wall Street and big money and big spenders, and that he doesn't connect with the average American and the struggles they're facing?
Good question.
Well, look at the average American and the struggles they're facing under Obama. Look at the fact that women are paid significantly less money in the Obama White House. Look at the fact that women have suffered under the Obama administration. Look at the fact that the Obama administration, in their failures on foreign policy, have allowed the Muslim Brotherhood to rise all over the place. You talk about a real war on women.
Come on.
It has to do with the fact that they're taking over in the Middle East and taking away all rights of women, David. That's the president's foreign policy. That's the war on women. Have him pay the women in the White House as much as he pays the men, David.
Let's not divide the president of the United States with women and what he's been doing on their behalf.
Gentlemen,
we need to go at unifying this country, not dividing it.
All right. Well, we certainly are not going to unify the two of you. We're not going to unify the two of you, but we appreciate you, David and Adam, both coming on to debate what happens in the general election. Thank you both.
pleasure.
Thank you, Shannon.
Thank